In this video, we're going to go over how I can use the ratio method to dilate this pentagon. So it's a pentagon, it has 5 sides here. I'm given the center of dilation, this point O here, and I'm told that I want my scale factor to be 1/4. So if it's 1/4, it should be smaller than the original. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in some lines. I'm going to zoom in a little bit first. And I'm going to connect this point here of O. I'm going to get as close to it as possible. And I'm going to just go to one of the points on my shape here. And then I'm going to do the same thing all the way around. Now, we are doing this sort of by hand. I know we're using a computer, but we're doing it by hand. So there is a possibility that we're going to be slightly off. There is that human error element to this, but we're just going to do our personal best. All right, so I drew a segment from the center of dilation to each of the pentagon's vertices. So now what I need to do is I'm going to get my ruler out, and I'm actually going to start measuring each of these lines. All right, and the first one says it's 11.5. So what I want to do is I'm going to do 11.5 times 0.25, because 1/4 is the same thing as 0.25. I'll just write that down. So I have 11, and I'm going to multiply it by my scale factor. And when I do that, I get 2.75. And with that, I'm just going to take my little tool and I'm going to put a point. Here's 2 inches. This is 2.5. It's going to be between the 2.5 and the 3 is 2.75. I'm just going to drop a point right on my line at that location. All right, now I'm going to go to my next point. And I go right over here and I see that it is 13.5. So I'm going to do the same exact thing, 13.5 times 0.25. And I get 3.375. All right, so again, I'm going to use my ruler. Here's 3, here's 3.5 would be right there. It's going to be slightly closer here. All right, and now I'm going to move on to my next point. And I got 12.5 here. Again, you multiply it by the scale factor. And I get 3.125. All right, so I have 3 right here. And it's going to be slightly past that. All right, so I have my point there. And now I'm at about 9.25. I'm going to say 9.25 here. And when I do that, I get 2.3125. All right, and so that is 2 right there. This would be 2.5, so it's not quite there. All right, and I'm not sure why I have this stray point right there. We're gonna get rid of that. Just move it over. And then I have my last line that I need to work on, which was this one all the way over here. And this line is about 8.5. When I do that, I get 2.125. And again, I'm just going to drop a point right there. So this is 2. Going to be a little past that. This is 2.5. Just right past the 2. All right, and now I'm going to move this ruler, and hopefully not that. I'm going to move the ruler. And when I move my ruler, I can see that I have the 5 points of a pentagon here. And I'm just going to connect them. And when I've connected them, I now have my scaled drawing.